Hello and welcome to this week's cryptocurrency update on Sunday, March 11th. So here's the chart. We always kick off with the long-term chart of the Bitcoin Investment Trust. It's an ETF for Bitcoin that I figure out because of its cost averaging, the fact that it's constantly buying and not just subject to the day-to-day fluctuations. It kind of balances things out. But here's two trend lines I've drawn here. Both of them interesting, cutting into right where Friday's finish was. So I think this is an important inflection point for Bitcoin. There's this trend line like that. It's sitting right on it there, and there's the longer one that goes back to last May. And it just, that goes just about to there as well. So it's sort of sitting right on it. If it violates that by next Friday, it has to be next Friday's close. We're looking at a weekly chart, remember. Then it really is going to be up to the 40-week as the last line of defense to keep this thing, I think, in an uptrend. It got beaten up this week due to umming and ahhing about the SEC talking about it's a, surprise, it's like I've always been saying, this is it's speculation, it's currency trading, and they want to regulate it, and they're set off a panic with people about liquidity, and are they going to sell their bitcoins? And so, a bit of short-term panic, combination of dumb money and profit taking, I think, came in there. And we can also see a little bit of support there, actually, around 13, sort of around there. So, but that was what's going on this week, and it forced Bitcoin to have another test of its sort of 10,000 zone, I want to call it. It's not 10,000 exactly. Now, as I speak, actually, it's bumped up a bit since Friday. It's about 9,500. So here's the day-to-day chart of GBTC. And I'm not liking how we've got two pullbacks from the 50-day now. The longer anything stays below its 50-day, the worse it is. If that 50-day guts below the 200-day, that's considered a bad sign. Technically, and in fact, if let's try to draw a couple of trend lines now. What we're seeing here, I can actually connect three horizontal dashes there pretty much, and create that line there, which is pointing down for the short term anyway. Longer term, it's still up, as I said. Long term trend is up, as I just showed you that chart, but it's at an important inflection point. What we got going on here, it kind of is on top of that. I mean, the weekly chart is always going to be more influential. It's the longer term trend. The longer, the stronger. The longer, the stronger for the trend. So it's not like it's flat here. It's sort of, it might be forming into, it does like this whole wedge thing. And I think it was just pulling itself out of a wedge, and then this whole SEC thing started and it pulled back again during the week. So it could be forming a wedge here. It does favour the sort of downside, but that doesn't mean it's going to go that way. Especially when, this uptrend is still solid, and this is one of my most classic trades actually. I'm looking for something that's leveling off sideways, intersecting an upwards trend. So it could actually be a great buying opportunity, and it could be narrowing itself into this little wedge here, and it might come to a head somewhere around here in the next month or so. It might work its way down there and then see which way it pops. But it does need to stay within this week, and for the weekly close, it needs to stay right where it is. Not much lower than 15 really. So that's what's going on technically with Bitcoin. Let's check in on the league table for cryptocurrencies. A bit of money been sucked out of cryptocurrencies this week, understandably, with all the fuss that was going on. Bitcoin's still in the lead. Still the top three are the same as they always were. No real gaining or losing here. Litecoin and Neo are the ones we've been watching, keeping an eye on, and Stellar. And they're all pushing ahead. Let's look at the my stockfolio app here, when I can actually see some charts of these coins, cryptos. There's Bitcoin. So, as I say, that's why I look at the GBTC chart, because it balances things out, and it did not violate the 200-day on GBTC. But there it is, bounce. Hopefully it'll be a second bounce, a bit like the overall stock market was. Ethereum hasn't really posed a threat to its 200-day yet, but it's getting down there. Ripple, similar, sort of holding its 200-day. As long as it holds that, I think all is well, Bad things happen below the 200-day. Litecoin, similar. All doing the similar sort of thing. Thing to watch out for is anyone not, doing the right thing. Or is anyone doing the right thing in the middle of it all? Then that's a good, a sign. But they all look like they're doing the same sort of thing as each other right now. Dash is a little bit limp and has been for a while. So not a huge fan of that one just yet. KuCoin's just sort of drifting around. There's not much history with that one. I don't like how that's down actually and everything is up, but that is a bit more speculative. I've mentioned the AI currency. And Neo, that one there. And still a bit new, but probably still quite healthier than a lot of them right now. Notice how they're all having the paint this sort of double bounce thing, which is an important thing to bounce back from. Nothing new, and with BitClub Network, if you haven't got your mining shares yet, now could be a good time. Your sponsor is Bits and Pieces, BITSPIECES. Get some shares in a mining pool, because that's a long-term thing, right? 3 to 6 years, and long-term, that's most definitely an uptrend. It's a bull market, despite all the short-term gyrations and so on. And that's the test of any bull market. Bull markets don't go in straight lines. The bull tries to take as few people along for the ride as possible, and shakeouts like this is how he does it. He doesn't make it easy for you. And that's quite possibly what's going on right now. So I will speak to you next week.